Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back to Death Note. This is episode 27, Abduction. What the hell just happened in the last two episodes? Hey, look, we got a ton of stuff that's gonna, I'm sure, be happening now. I'm all here for it.
All I know is that I am ready, willing, able to find out who these two new characters are that we found out when they told that Alec was gone.
Yeah, the entire 26 episodes, we were touting how much fun it was when we had this cat and mouse game, and now, well, our cat is, the proverbial cat is gone. So it's going to be real interesting to see where we go from here.
Well,
But I'm here for it.
now the mouse is the cat. Let's go!
Do something where like L is in Light's head somehow, and if they keep the character around that way, maybe. Light seems too focused on what he's doing. Ryuk and his apple.
That's the best part. And now.
All right, back to it.
Oh, here we go.
Guys.
What was that?
I'm afraid L is dead.
Was it Kira?
Probably.
If you can't solve the puzzle, then you're just a loser.
Whoa.
Which of us did L pick?
Can't the two of you work together?
That face.
Nier should be the one to succeed L. He never gets emotional. He just uses his head.
Well,
Well, yeah.
that's what L does.
That was pretty
L
quick to
did.
solve that, huh?
It's an L puzzle.
I'm almost 15 years old. It's time I started living my own life.
Yeah, I guess. You're 15.
Yeah.
You're a man.
15's still a little young for all that.
If you write a person's name in it with their face in mind, that person will die.
Whoa, 3 years. Yeah, with another jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought he was in.
Al is a fake. He was created by the Japanese police to avoid confusion and panic.
We have a fake L.
Yeah. Yeah, they said they weren't. Remember, that's what Light was going to do.
The true successor to L.
I can't believe they're in the U.S. now.
The world's getting a lot bigger.
Special provision for Kira.
Oh, Light.
Oh, now they finally give us a
Yeah.
title card.
Light's going to be loving this attention.
Posting names and faces online, it's the people doing that who deserve to die.
It's a good place for innocent people who lead good lives.
Please give it a rest for one afternoon, dear.
Seems like it's been forever, you two.
Oh, someone's in Lerv.
Yep.
Mr. Matsuda, right?
Oh, that's me.
Ah,
he's
look at the
blushing.
red.
Look at those cheeks.
You're all grown up and pretty.
Right in front of
Dad.
No way.
Well, you can forget it. I'll never let Sayu marry a cop.
Well, then I quit.
You're too cruel to me, Mom and Dad.
Mom?
What is going on?
I was thinking if you were
Is
a
this a
little
dream
younger,
sequence
I
or
might have
what's
considered going out with you sometime.
Look at this crying.
Dad's not impressed.
Just get married already. I think that's a great idea.
What a different mood we've taken.
Yes, what is it, Aizawa?
Okay,
We have to go.
We gonna get serious again here?
Yeah, we had our levity.
Yep.
They got Director Takimura of the MPA.
We got the call at 6:12. The director for the notebook.
Oh, now it's
What?
Someone knows about the Death Note. They know that the Japanese police have it.
Oh, wow. What a trade they want. Can't just hand it over.
There's a visitor here who wants to meet with Director Takimura.
My name is John McEnroe.
tennis.
The director is unavailable.
We want you to hand over the notebook to us.
Where did you take the director?
Seems that the director of the Japanese police force has been kidnapped by someone.
How did that happen?
We would like to assist them in rescuing the director and apprehending the culprits.
Oh.
Somehow you didn't know that this notebook even existed. Deputy Director Yagami would be the highest ranking, right?
Yeah.
My theory is that there are two notebooks out there.
Oh.
We're gonna take both of them. I want to eliminate my competition.
Oh.
I'll beat Nier by any means necessary.
What a twist. Those two are
Wow.
totally in competition.
So now we have a three-way dance.
Yep.
That's what we got, boys.
So we got an eagle battle just on the opposite side.
Eddie and I were talking for a minute, and it looks like Takemura hung himself with his tie somehow.
Oh.
Oh no.
That means Kira is someone who knows about the kidnapping. We're gonna kidnap Soichiro Yagami's daughter.
Whoa.
Whoa.
These folks work way different.
I found out the real name of the FBI agent. He's actually called Larry Connors.
Rally Connors.
The director of the FBI has offered to help us rescue Director Takemura.
But the director should already be dead by now. Are they gonna give up on the deal just because they lost their bargaining chip? It's possible the kidnappers might come after us.
Go to bed by myself, okay?
Our families are at risk.
It must be the kidnappers.
Tracing.
This is Yagami.
Takemura is dead.
You bastards!
You bastards.
The notebook for Sayu Yagami. Better handle this on your own, without backup. I'll send you a photo of Takemura's corpse to prove I mean business.
Damn, they got me.
Jesus.
Can't believe they go this far. Damn, man.
Sayu? She is late coming home.
Sayu.
Oh, toss the phone.
I think it was Kira who killed the director, not the kidnappers. Kira claims to be justice. He wouldn't want the notebook used by someone evil. We should be the ones who investigate this. We leave the police out of it.
We've just received a report that the director of the Japanese police agency has been killed.
That's a lot of matchsticks.
It'd be interesting if it turned out to be Kira.
I can narrow down our list of suspects significantly. Have you been able to determine his whereabouts yet?
Not yet.
Mello, you never change. Or perhaps you're not even involved in this case. How could you leave your photo behind at the orphanage?
Your daughter has finally arrived. Come to LA.
I won't make the trade unless I'm sure my daughter's safe. Sayu.
We've narrowed the call down to 5th Street in LA.
I'm taking the notebook to Los Angeles.
I don't...
Before we do anything, we have to come up with a plan.
We don't have time.
Ooh.
Kira killed Takemura, not the kidnappers?
Terrible at darts.
Terrible shot.
This is L. Will you help us with the investigation into NPA Director Takemura's murder?
I'm pleased to meet you at last, L number 2.
Oh, near nose. And that light wasn't expecting that.
Where'd they hear that? Who the hell told them?
You can address me as N.
This strange feeling. What is it?
Oh, that's awesome. Come on. Oh, he's chained to him like that.
They
That was...
are always so good at dropping that in there at the end. Those to be continued, just giving us wanting more.
Yeah.
More.
I wasn't expecting Mello and Near to end up on opposite ends, basically not only of the law, but on opposite ends of the case. That was something surprising, which I guess is cool to know that that's what we're going to have going forward. And of course, we got the kidnapping of Sayu, which is going to really affect Light and his dad and how they're going to pursue everything. But I really liked how it wasn't really even that much about Light this episode. It was more setting up Mello and Near and how they were going to react to everything and how their personalities kind of butted against each other. So I like that. I like that they both had traits that RL had originally, with the sweets and the way they sat. They made a very, very important point to show that, which I liked. And so, yeah, it feels, I know this is kind of the start of part 2 as it's labeled, but it does certainly feel like a new season, not only because of the time jumps, but because we have new characters. And like you said, Answer, now we have almost a 3-way battle or a 3-way dance as it's called. And so that's going to be really interesting going forward. And I'm really digging the new characters of Mello and Near, because now it's not just, 2 guys who are chained together, having to work together. You've got 3 different organizations essentially, and everybody now wants the notebook that people know about because of the power that it has. So this is going to be wild. I can't wait to see where this goes, and also I want to see more out of Nier and Mello.
Yeah, instead of just a cat and mouse, now we got some cats and some mices that are just going at each other.
Cat, mouse, and a canary.
Yeah, there is, pretty much. No, yeah, it's Tom and Jerry, and then throw in Tweety Bird. I know, different cartoon, but there we go. So this is really interesting because like we were getting accustomed to Light versus L, and then them working together and playing along there, and like even with Light losing his knowledge and then gaining it all back, it was like a great story that they had unfolded there that came to an epic conclusion, and now we're opening it back up with this time. So Nier has got some quirks, but they're gonna try to do it for good. They want to stop Kira. Mello, he wants to take it so he can take out anybody that's in his way. So we have totally different reasonings behind why other people want it. And right away, Mello, because what's been funny is it was between Mello and Nier to succeed L. Yep. And so that's why they both have their quirks and they both have the same like knowledge and how smart L was. They had Mello right away, like with the sweets, so already like had it figured out, like, oh, well, he didn't do that. He didn't do the self-deletion. It was Kira. Kira wrote it in the notebook because they knew we had him. So they have to have the information. Like, it was so smart. It's like, well, yeah, like maybe like got a little sloppy there with that too, with taking him out, that Mello was able to see right through it. But then then so did Nier. And so it's just, this is going to be really interesting with that. But I'm happy to see that Misa and Light are still together and still knight him, even though she wants him to get on one knee. And then we were sitting there laughing, having fun with, Seiyu coming in and getting the Matsudo.
Yeah, those first couple minutes.
All blushing, and he's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." It's like
right in front of Dad.
Yep, and we're having so much fun with that. And then
I was like, "What show am I watching here?"
Exactly, and right away, next when they're like, "We got to go. We're on a case." It was, well, there went the levity for the whole episode. I don't know if that made the cut, but I said that I was like, I think that's it for the levity on this one, but. Yeah, I love it so far. This is great. Gonna have a 3-way dance. It's gonna be great for the title. It's a ladder match for the Death Note on a pole match.
Something.
I was really uncertain what direction this show was gonna go after having L be gone, and I think that was probably the same reaction a lot of people had. I mean, it was incredible writing for part one up until L's demise, and I don't know if it's the same writer for everything else, or exactly where all the material's coming from. I thought it was the same writer, but I could be wrong. But in any regard, I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, well, where is this story gonna? The answer's just looking up, so it looks like it's Toshiki. Looks like a couple of episodes were written by some other people.
This one was.
Yeah, but in any regard,
Toshiki.
I think that this is incredible, and this is going to create such a unique story. And it was such a unique story with the Death Note, right? Like the whole direction of that, wildly creative, something that I haven't seen before. A great show to follow along, but brought up very real, moral issues as far as who should be able to condemn somebody else to death. And as I said, when we first started watching the show, this is something that we could discuss forever. So again, I was like, where are we going to go with this? But now you have the addition of somebody else who is chasing after Kira, and somebody who feels like it feels like Nier's methods are going to be similar to those of L's, right? But then you also have Mello, who is privy to the same key piece of information, that there's this Death Note and that L is no longer with us. But Mello obviously wants the Death Note for very different reasons. And now Light's going to have to try to navigate outsmarting both of them. But look, Mello's not playing by the same set of rules, right? They're going to go and, they're going to go. They went and kidnapped his sister. Okay, they went and kidnapped his sister, and they're going to do what they need to do to get that notebook. And, we saw L go pretty far with some things last season, when it was Dad and Light and Misa in the car. And he looked like he was going to, de-life them. That was like super intense. And, the handcuffing. So we saw a lot of crazy methods, but this changes everything. And so again, now as Answer said, kind of like this three-way dance where Light's got to try to navigate Mello and Near, and they both know, or at least it can be assumed that they know they're in competition with each other a little bit. And so I'm really, really excited about the way they introduced those two and where they're going with this story. Of course, when we were first saw them, and of course we just got kind of the back imagery of them in the office at that
I didn't
home.
expect those personalities.
I didn't know if they were going to be younger or older or what exactly was going to happen. So to get two very unique but very different personalities that are now going after the Death Note again, my face was like smiling the whole time. It was either like this or smiling, and I could feel it, and usually I've got a lot of times I have my resting oak face where I'm just focused, but I was like, okay, this is really good.
Focus.
And it's really brilliant the way they've decided to, instead of trying to just bring in a new L and now we have the new proverbial cat and mouse game, they've added a completely new element to it. I'm digging it.
And I think it was interesting. They went to the president of the United States.
Totally different, right?
And so then they created the SPK. So that's like a whole new ball game. And like even Mello, they're in LA right now too. So they're coming to America. Not the Eddie Murphy movie, but they're coming to America.
The one thing that I think we've got to talk about is the very last scene where Light felt like he was still handcuffed to L. We got that quick imagery.
Quick chains.
He was like, "What am I feeling?" Or I forget how he described it or what he said, but they had the imagery of he was connected to L again, and I don't know. To me, the way I took that, I'd like to hear what you guys thought and what you folks thought if you've made it this far. Is that Light recognizing or getting the feeling that somebody who has L's credentials or ability or intelligence level is now working against him, and he feels kind of trapped in that again.
That's what I took it to mean. One thing that Light has repeatedly shown us throughout all the episodes so far is that he considers himself to be smarter than everybody else. I'm smarter. I'm one step ahead. I'm so much more clever. But L challenged him in a way that I think he didn't feel like he was ever going to be challenged. And I think now having people who know that L is no longer with them it's always going to sit in the back of Light's head. How much do they really know? What do they really know about the notebook? And so, I think he's, curious that there's going to be some similar methodology that he saw with L, and that he's really, L might not be there, but he's really not free of having to constantly be trying to consider what somebody like L would have done to catch him.
Yeah, and plus the fact that L sent all that information on the computer to Roger.
I was going to say that it's not that it's just one that he's going against. It's now two, and they're both equal. Well, I mean, they're both on equal playing ground as him. They could be, or they could be even more intelligent. They could be just like, because like he had a tough enough time with L in its own right. So now you have two of these guys that are both have different agendas and different resources.
It's going to be a lot.
It's going to make for a fun time, I think. And I think you know what we're talking about. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.
Or will.
This strange feeling. What is it?
Yep. Oh, still chained to him.
He's going to sit there going like this, like used to the chain being on his wrist.
I feel like I'm talking to L.
The FBI and the CIA have explicitly asked that I head up their investigation.
There's a possibility that solving this case could lead to the arrest of Kira.
Who is he anyway? Deputy Director Yagami's daughter was kidnapped.
I'll have a team on standby in LA.
I'll let you have full authority on this, Al.
Oh, that was quick.
You're going to hang up like that?
But what's all this about the Americans not trusting L anymore? I don't like the sound of that.
Near's got those same pupils that L had.
He hasn't had any success in catching Kira so far.
That's why it's a good idea. It means there'll be an opportunity to take advantage of him. We'll work to get the notebook.
Near's a lefty, too.
That's why it was a crappy shot.
I want you to do whatever's necessary to make sure both you and Sayu get out of this alive.
All right.
Maybe Dad becomes Kira, gets the Shinigami eyes, and then when he goes to save her, he can take everybody out.
There's a chance I might need to use your eyes this time.
Yeah. Yep.
So I want to have you close by.
Or this. I knew we were going to need the eyes.
Yep.
Look at Ryuk just sitting on the stairs.
Just for you.
Let's see. Which one should I bring? I can't decide.
His sister's been kidnapped. Let's not do this. This isn't a vacation.
Well, she always thinks Light has a plan.
Because he does. And she's slightly blinded by love.
Things go badly. May have to kill Sayu.
Oh!
Oh! Misa heard that.
Stop the... All right, what?
Something goes wrong.
What?
We should all arrive on separate flights.
Dude.
I'm gonna get a haircut so they won't recognize me.
Whoa! Looking smooth.
Oh, flying business class.
You're going to board flight SE-333. I have your tickets with me.
Someone has intercepted him at Narita.
Don't lose sight of them.
They're boarding a different flight than originally planned. This one's going to LA too.
Could they have somehow arranged for another plane?
Oh, we're in it now.
Light's on Rodeo Drive.
Flight SC-333, do you copy? Do you copy? You have strayed from your flight path.
Oh.
Whoa.
I assure you everything's okay.
Oh, they got
This
the
is
whole
a detour.
plane under control?
We're simply making a detour. I will not hesitate to crash the plane and take all the passengers with me.
Wow.
The deputy director's flight has just changed direction.
What the hell is going on?
Oh.
The pilot's a veteran of over 15 years. The co-pilot checks out clean too. Looks like I have no choice.
Director, this is L. Get me in. I'm sure you're aware of our current...
Sugar cubes.
Well, sugar cubes are
Yeah.
dice.
Those are die.
Oh, dice.
What's he thinking?
See when
I
they have
never
the
realized
dots
he was
on
this
them for the
unreliable.
numbers? That means die, not sugar cubes.
If there's anything else we can do, don't hesitate to let us know.
Put this in your ear.
Can't even tell it's there. Oh, there it is.
You're the only one who can hear my voice.
I have no interest in your daughter's life, one way or the other.
Is that Disturbed?
Sounds like it.
The notebook.
Yep.
That's what it sounds like, but I don't think it is.
I'm going to give the notebook to some criminal. It's the right thing to do.
You can't give the notebook to criminals. I mean, you got to find another way. Oh, land it out in the desert.
Gonna see a Winnebago out there?
Maybe.
The other people on the flight are like,
what are we doing
what are we doing here? Is this right?
This looks interesting.
Hey, at tea time at 5 o'clock.
We've been able to use our satellite cameras to pinpoint where the plane has landed.
So what's gonna happen?
Either there are cars coming or there's like a trap door. Or dune buggies.
Helicopter? Oh, the trap door. Yep. Good call, answer.
It's like Spies Like Us.
They're underground?
Well, well, isn't that interesting?
This is pretty advanced for some mafia people, isn't it?
Kidnapper must have predicted that we'd be watching him by satellite.
Oh. Whoa!
The glass is bulletproof, understand?
It's trying to get some attention, I guess.
Slide the notebook through here. Once that's done, I'll release the lock.
Proceed.
How would they verify it's the real notebook if you just put a notebook over there?
I've only just arrived in the US, so I'm not in any position to start giving orders to the American police. The notebook's gonna be...
Light, is everything okay? You look kind of...
Lisa, just shut up and do what I told you, all right?
Oh.
I can still make it. It's my only option.
I'll test the notebook.
Test it.
We can't make the trade without making sure it's the real thing.
No way.
If Sayu dies, I can't blame her death on Kira.
Oh.
Wow, they took out one of their own.
Yeah.
Deal for me and sell goods behind my back.
Oh,
Who's a
underling.
worthless idiot?
It seems the notebook is genuine after all. We'll make the exchange for your daughter.
Dad.
Oh boy, now what?
A suspect is headed for a helicopter.
The notebook has been exchanged.
Wow.
Don't lose sight of it, no matter what.
Oh. Wow.
A missile? Whoa.
Whoa.
What's happening here?
I did everything you asked me to, just like we planned. Good job.
Oh.
Here, the helicopter.
I thought so.
We've lost the signal. He could be anywhere now.
Holy cow. What a sequence. Light's been beat. He's never been beat.
Definitely not like this.
It won't be difficult to retrieve the missile once it lands in a deserted area.
Oh, a rare mistake.
Well, remember with the puzzle.
Yep. Is Mello gonna take out everybody that Nier is working with? Oh, wow.
Looks like it.
The entire...
The whole Kira task force. The SRK. SPK, I was close.
Al, the majority of the SPK's members have just been killed by the notebook. You were the one who handed over the notebook without a fight.
You wouldn't have handed it over?
It would have been impossible to avoid this. I propose we work together and share the information we know so far.
A new team.
And the trade is someone who goes by the name Mello. I don't have his photograph and I don't know his real name. He was living at an orphanage located in Winchester, England.
That's a lie.
Well, it knows Whammy's house.
Yeah, no, but that Nier doesn't know Mello.
No, it doesn't
know his real name.
Doesn't know the real name or have a picture of him. They know him.
But they know him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but she said she didn't say she didn't know him. She just said she didn't know his real name.
Yeah. Just knows that they met at Whammy's house.
Yeah, they might not.
Uh-oh.
Armo, Justin. I went to the king to report that I lost my notebook. Ryuk said it was his and that he had dropped it and took it.
Find Ryuk and ask him yourself.
So I guess I have to go to the human world. Well, that sucks.
Another Shinigami going to the human world. Wow. These last two episodes, and this one in particular, have just been wild with information. And okay, so now Light's going to be working with Nier now, and so we're basically going to probably get somewhat of a mirroring what we had when it was L and Light working together, but instead with it being Nier and Light. So what I'm wondering is, how is this going to play out? Because the way Light's character was in this one, he was totally defeated. And I'm surprised he didn't take out his sister, honestly, because the way his ego was completely out of control, and he was that close to doing it and thinking about it, I'm really surprised he didn't do it. But look, Mello was willing to do things on a different level that, I mean, I guess Light never was really pushed to that point where he had to kidnap and kidnap people, take people out. I mean, he took people out, but not in the way that Mello did. It was so he's dealing with somebody who's willing to operate on a different level and go way beyond what he was. Because, I mean, for all of Light's faults, which are many, he was relatively trying to stay away from innocent people, and obviously his sister is very innocent, so it would have been a huge change for him to have to go through with that. But like I said, Light's never been beaten before. He's never been had somebody who could get the better of him, and it's completely destroyed him, it seems, in that those last couple of scenes of where he's at.
I don't know if he was trying to stay away from innocent people. What about our FBI guy's wife and early on?
Well, right, but very true. Like I said, that's why I said he tried to, but they were in his way. He would have gotten caught.
Right.
It wasn't like he just picked somebody who was delivering pizzas and said,
anybody who got in his way, regardless of whether they committed a crime or not.
Yes,
so he
exactly.
definitely
that would have been.
He definitely didn't keep it to just innocent people. That should be noted.
But it was just wild for me seeing Light essentially beaten, and we've never seen that before. So that was wild, and now he's going to be teaming up with Nier.
Yeah, when he did that, and obviously truly in love with Misa, but the way that he was like yelling at her and everything else, he had never done that before. We had never seen that side of him like yelling as far as at a significant other.
He's never lost it like
he's
that.
never lost his cool to the point where he's just slapping drinks away. So yeah, this is a totally different side. I mean, we know his evil maniacal side, but just never. He's always been cocky and arrogant about it, and he's been talking like this in a tone. There he was actually like yelling at Misa. So like we're seeing this whole, imagine that, a whole nother side of him to begin with. And then we saw that Mello's boss that has now got the death note obviously does not care about anybody because he took out 2 of his henchmen, and then right away they knew who was all dealing with the SPK and took out all but what, 3?
Yeah,
4 in the room.
Yep.
So now we don't know what their goals are because they're probably going to take out a lot of the FBI. So they're probably going to do, I think, the opposite of what Light want to do, right? Light wanted to take out the bad guys, the people that are in the prison system and all this stuff. Whereas I think Mello, or his boss, is going to want to take out anybody and everybody that would try to stop him from taking over. So then he's going to take out FBI agents, stuff like that. And like,
well, he can have whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I mean, he can say, "I'm going to take out the president of this country, that country." Every person whose name and face is out there, that mafia boss now has the ability to just take out anybody.
Wow, they took out one of their own. I mean, I think my thing is,
that was just to test it.
That was
all right?
a test.
That was a test. But he was doing stuff behind the boss's back. So
well, let's not forget, when we look at everything that happened between Light and El, it was a battle of Light not wanting to get caught for fear of obviously being prosecuted, going to prison, and the risk of execution. Now, Light's not just battling, hey, I'm gonna try my best to avoid getting caught. Now he's battling somebody else who knows who his family members are and knows who, like, look, he knows that they're going after them. He went and took out the entire SBK. Who's to say that the next move isn't to take everybody else out on that force? And if they know the sister's real name, how hard is it for them to know his name? They probably know it already. So, I mean, they could have easily. I was concerned that they were just going to take out dad and sister as soon as the notebook was handed over. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do this trade. Notebook gets handed over. Oh, that's the test who it's on. And they have their real names. And the other thing that Light is going up against, obviously, right now, they made it very, very clear in this episode that the pocketbooks in the resources for Mallow and his crew run as deep as you could possibly get. They got rockets. They got underground bunkers. They got
an underground bunker in the desert.
Yeah.
So how are they going to use
the spinning glass door,
the Death Note? How is El going to combat that? I thought it was interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to make the cut, but I had said, well, maybe El hands the notebook, or Light hands the notebook to Dad, gives him it, and then he uses the eyes. Well, okay. Well, now he's got Misa using the eyes. I think he knows he needs to keep Misa very, very close. But that's the crazy thing, is that, again, the notebook is in the hand, the Death Note is in the hand of somebody else who's not playing by any rules, knows who they are, has crazy unlimited resources. And things just got a whole lot messier for Light. And like you guys saw, like you guys said, we saw a level of defeat and a level of frustration that we haven't seen before.
Well, and we got another Shinigami saying that Ryuk stole his Death Note book. So
another Shinigami coming
down, and he was a little interesting looking, to say the very least. So that would be a whole new sight for them to see the Shinigami.
Not the most intimidating looking.
No, kind of like a bird. Almost.
Ryuk was kind of punk and interesting looking, and Rem obviously pretty badass. She was an interesting.
It was interesting
Shinigami, but this guy looks a little less intimidating.
Yeah. It was interesting how Ryuk was having a little bit of some moments there where he was questioning Light and what he was doing. Like, oh, you're going to take your day out on her, basically, is what he was saying. And kind of starting to question him for I don't want to say the first time, but in recent memory here, as we've been going through, Ryuk's starting to kind of question him and maybe some of his methods.
Lights in a brand new spot he's never been in before.
Yeah, and I don't think he would have taken out his sister because, like, it was as close as he was to it. He finally realized, well, if I take her out, what good does that do me? Us in the room are the only ones that knew she was taken.
Well, the thing is if, you know, and again, well, not just that, but I mean, if the sister, a healthy young woman, randomly dies in there, then the whole case, like all of a sudden, you narrow the suspects down real slim as far as who Kira really is.
Well, and the mafia guys would get the death note anyways because the hostage would die. They'd be like, oh, well, something happened there. They'd pop dad, and then they just take the notebook anyway.
Again, I'm surprised. I was very, very surprised. And like, look, we say, well, it would be crazy if we lost dad and the sister, you know, but we never know. We just lost Elle not too long ago. But I'm very surprised that dad didn't just come down with the notebook and they just, you know, pop him. But they needed to test it first, you know, and maybe dad had a backup plan. Well, if they take me out first, then they'll get a fake notebook.
Well, I was interesting. They still let the dad and sister go when the guy that delivered them, you know, he got taken out. They took out his helicopter. So I did everything as you said, boss. All right, well, see ya. Thanks for your service.
Well, maybe they still want to use them because they know dad's real name. They know his face. So
they could do a lot of we still can kidnap mom and
kidnap
the daughter again.
Well, Mello knew there was two, so he's trying to weed out and try to get out the second Kira, which he doesn't know there's actually two that are doing all that.
Yeah, well, and then that's the thing. The mafia, again, you know, you have essentially the ability to make anybody in the world do what you want, and they know who he is, but he doesn't care because how do you go after and arrest a guy who can take anybody out at any time? You constantly,
as long as he's in hiding.
As long as he's in hiding, he can do whatever he wants.
Oh, it's pretty messed up.
Well, you know he's not in hiding us. So no,
in our bunker.
This has been getting really good. We're getting in the thick of it.
New characters, love it.
You guys know as well as we do. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.